Hello YouTubers, and good morning here on November 5th, Guy Fawkes Day, and the day after our elections over here in the United States. But there's another big day here on the Island of Peace, and we got a new MacBook Pro here that we're going to open up, get set up, and actually the goal is to copy the hard drive on this one into the hard drive of this one, and then erase this old hard drive so that I can eventually give it to my son. We got your Ethernet cable with your two Thunderbolt connectors, and we got the OS X Mavericks missing manual book, which basically, you know, you can use for Yosemite as far as the disk utility stuff goes and that sort of stuff. David Pogue, this is by David Pogue. He's got a whole series of these out. They're very helpful, although you have to look around about 3 or 4 different places to sort of figure out what you want to do. So we've got some things bookmarked, made some notes, so we'll see how this goes. They are pretty machines, aren't they? They really are. Well, we got the plastic off of it here for the most part. I think there's something on the screen inside, though. Have to do that. Got the adapter out here. Well, we're getting underway here, guys, after a little toing and froing. So we want to transfer information to this Mac. Make sure that the other Mac time capsule or disk that you are transferring from is connected to the same network or directly connected to this Mac. When transferring from another Mac, open the Migration Assistant app in the Utilities folder on that Mac. Use Migration Assistant to transfer information, data, computer settings, and apps to this Mac from another Mac or Windows PC, a Time Machine backup, or a disk. You can also transfer information from this Mac to another Mac. All other apps will quit when you click Continue. Make sure your Mac is connected to this Mac or the same network. Open Migration Assistant on the other Mac. When asked, select to transfer information from other Mac. Apparently, this machine came with Mavericks 10.9.4. So we're having to do sequential updates here. 10.9.5 and then the Yosemite 10.10.0. So it's going to take a considerable amount of time. And I have to have the Yosemite on this in order to migrate stuff from my old MacBook. Well, it's been a while. Let's see, it's getting on to be 10 o'clock here. It's been about an hour and a half. Maybe not quite that. That's the Yosemite. So, about 12 minutes left on that. Then, apparently there was this GarageBand update that sort of came along for the ride here. And it was like 1.16 gigabytes. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to be using GarageBand. So, you know, we move on apace. Well, we're getting a little action here now. They're going to restart it. It says go ahead and click. I guess I'm just going to let this sort of do it on its own. I'm not going to try to force with it. It's going to take a bit of time. When I installed it on the other one, it took... Well, this has gone considerably faster than when I installed it on the other MacBook Pro. And now we're going to do a little bit more waiting here. That's okay. Never rush an artist. Well, I'm not the artist, but these machines sure approach the level of artistry sometimes. unless they start fizzing and humming at you. So, soldiering on here at 10:08 a.m. Yeah, Eastern Standard Time. And now we wait some more. And now, Americans, page probably 7 or 8 or 9 by now. Well, we seem to be starting to update other programs now that we've installed the Yosemite. There's going to be, you know, there's 2 already starting, and then there's 3 more. Seems that they had to do the had to install Mavericks 10.9.5 before they could install the 10.0, which is kind of how I thought it would work. And now they want to know about auto updates. Well, it looks like the end is actually in sight. I know I've been saying that. This is the final update. About 3 minutes. It's for iMovie, which I find essentially incomprehensible. But that's just me. Well, we're getting a little action here now, guys. Another Mac is requesting access to this Mac. To transfer information from this Mac, make sure the same passcode is displayed on the other Mac and then click Continue. If the passcode doesn't match, click back. And then over here on the new machine, transfer information to this Mac. Select the Mac, other startup disk. Okay, to transfer. Make sure the code below is displayed in your other computer and then click Continue. Information is being transferred to your new Mac. Starting up. Okay. Now we've got a new screen over here. Select the information to transfer. Choose which information you'd like to transfer to this Mac. Joe's MacBook Pro to this Mac. What would you like to transfer from Joe's MacBook Pro? Everything, basically. Alright, so documents and data, computer and network settings, application, continue. A user account named Joe Kersey already exists on this Mac. You want to replace the user on this Mac with Joe S. Kersey from Joe's MacBook Pro. Replace Joe Kersey on this Mac. Keep a copy of the data from this Mac. They'll be moved to the deleted users folder in the users folder. Continue. It's the same thing. So continue. Information from Joe's MacBook Pro is being transferred to this Mac. Transferring documents for the user, Joe S. Kersey. Connect the Thunderbolt cable to transfer data faster. Well, I don't have a Thunderbolt cable per se. I have Thunderbolt adapters with an Ethernet cable. 2 hours and 23 minutes. Alright. I think we've finally achieved, you know, at least one major step goal for the day, you know, once this is finished. So while these computers are, you know, transferring things between each other, we got about another hour and a half to go on that. I thought I'd just wander down here, down the driveway. We have we've had some surveying and engineering work being done out here today, and they were nice enough to tell me about it, knock on the door and tell me about it. I mean, they've been a lot better about that than in previous years, but they're going to do, apparently the idea is they're going to do some sort of borehole or test dig here at this stake, at this stick down there where you see the white flag, and that's in relation to the sewer lines that run around. And the guy asked me, could they park their truck here and down here in this yard? And I said, yeah. I mean, that's where a lot of you guys have been parking it. So we just had a gaggle of these guys come down. One of them was a very pleasant fellow that talked to me this morning, and there were two clearly more senior types there. One of them had actually a set of plans in his hands, which I think was actually the profile of the two sewer lines that are already in place. But they were talking about where the ditch line is going to be, the new ditch line is going to be, and the new ditch line is going to be based about where I thought it was going to be. Maybe just a hair on this side of the, you know, the utility pole. So, you know, I think the road basically, when all is said and done, the right of way and everything will come out to about here. You know, and that gives you, and then here's the existing road, so I think that's about how much of a change it's going to be. But they, you know, as I said, they brought this, oh, we've got some red splotches here. We have some red splotches. Things are afoot. But you know, here's the county coming out here to basically dig a hole. Well, they're doing more than that. I'm being a bit facetious. But the county comes out to dig a hole, and they bring, you know, 4 trucks and 8 guys, you know. And they've been here, they've been here the very part of the morning. They've been here at least since 8:15, and it's getting on to be about noon now, just about. And 11:45 anyway. So the county sends out 8 guys with 4 trucks to dig a hole. A little over 3 hours they haven't dug a hole. I'm being a bit unfair, but I have to admit the thought did sort of blast into my head. Oh gosh. Well, you know, it's not, you know, this is going to drastically change the place. I sure hope these guys don't try to stiff me on what they pay me. Clearly I'm going to have to hire somebody to negotiate for me, because I'm no good at that kind of stuff. And then I'll have to get somebody to give me tax advice on this involuntary conversion, as it's called. Well, you know, it'll all be a learning experience, won't it? I guess so. Here at Hissing, guys, this reminds me of when I was sort of, you know, a student, sort of lab instructor in the chemistry program in Ohio State, and you know, when they'd give midterms and final exams, we had to you know, be in the room and monitor the examination room while the exams were being given. Yeah. This is about as long as a standard final was then at Ohio State, you know, a little over 2 hours, 2.5 hours. This is like monitoring one of the examinations. Well, it's just now a hare afternoon. There's the remains of a squirrel's breakfast there. And thought I might just give you all a word about the results of the elections around here. In the state of Ohio, all the statewide offices were won by Republicans, which was pretty much as expected. The only one that was really in doubt, or might have been in doubt, was Josh Mandel for treasurer against whoever was running against him, and even that was about a 57% versus, you know, 43%, no, 43% margin. The rest were almost all over 60%, you know, sometimes even 2/3 for the incumbent Republicans. They were all incumbents. And then here in the county, Delaware County, again, our state representative, who's a Republican and goes to our church, or the church I attend, well, our church, he got almost 70% of the vote. It was a lot closer last time, though, interestingly. And then our state senator, Chris Jordan, I think his margin is a little less. It was probably around, but again, I think it was somewhere in the region of like 57-43. The baby killers have really been gunning for him because he doesn't want to let any and all kill their babies for any reason whatsoever. I mean, in terms of just, you know, I mean, so that gets a lot of these groups up in arms, and they put a lot of money into trying to defeat him. Let's see, this will be his second 4-year term, so he can get one more, you know, they're term limited to 3 terms. So you can have 3 House terms and 3 Senate terms. And anyway, and then this very much, at least on my part, dreaded park, you know, community center bond issue levy. It went down. I was astonished. It went down. It went down as like 4,600 against versus 3,500 for. I was really flabbergasted about that. I thought that was going to be a lock, you know, a ramp. Now I'm sure they're going to ding, 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 put it back on the ballot, 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 put it back on the ballot till they get what they want. Just like the school districts do up here. I mean, I frankly think you only ought to get one bite of the apple a year on these things, but no, they just keep hammering away at you till they wear you down, or they put it on some sort of special election like in February or August where people are unlikely to turn out, and then keep it real quiet, you know, so that a lot of people don't know it's on and so won't come out to vote against it. The only problem with that is it costs them a fair amount of money to put on a single issue special election ballot. Well, that's never seemed to stop them before if it costs money. No, that doesn't seem to stop them at all. I mean, they'll go out and pay some consultant, you know, $100,000 just to turn out an environmental statement, and they spent $25,000, or well, somewhere between $20,000 and $25,000 on this really big, elaborate stone sign out in front of the township hall that says Orange Township Hall. Hell, I would have bought some plywood and a couple of sticks and painted it for free. I'd have donated my labor and materials. Still convey the same amount of information. I'll tell you, it's just you know, the arrogance of the profligate spending, and the arrogance of the folks that do the profligate spending is just takes my breath away sometimes. Well, that was the news here. So that'll keep them from extracting $300 from me for another year or so, or 6 months anyway, maybe. All right. I think they're still pondering what to do about this borehole or something. Well, like all good YouTubers, I got to check my hair. How's my hair? How's my hair? It's ridiculous. Not my hair, just this whole emphasis on hair, said he, falling into it. It has occurred to me as I was pondering the fact that it's Guy Fawkes Day. Sort of leaving aside the Roman Catholic versus Protestant issues that were raised at the time by all of that, and is that this was also, or is also, if Shackleton were alive, my dead black Labrador, who died May 21st, 2012. If Shackleton were alive, he'd be 14 today. He was born November 5th, 2000. And so when I remembered that, I had to have a little tear up. I miss that dog. Well, he didn't make it, did he, huh? Only made it to 11 and a half. So the borehole guys seem to have disappeared. 3 of the 4 trucks are gone now, but the engineering supervisory types seem to be roaming around still. So I think what's happened is the union guys have gone off to have lunch, taking 3 trucks to transport them to the fast food restaurant of their choice. And the engineering types, who are on salary and aren't union in all likelihood, are still out here contemplating what to do, I guess. Well, we all know work expands to fill the available space. I got me a government job. I got me a government job. There was a sister of my now lamentably dead friend. Married a really pleasant guy who works for the state of Ohio in some sort of purchasing agent capacity for utilities or something like that, or that was what he was doing when I first met him. And we were all having dinner one night over at the Top, which is this restaurant I've spoken about in some of my other, at least one other video, out on the east side of Columbus. What an excellent restaurant. I mean, excellent food. A little pricey, but excellent food. And he got talking about his job, and he says, hey, I just realized, he says, and then he sort of fell into this, mock accent. I got me a government job, I can't get fired. I got me a government job, I can't get fired. And he's civil service, so at the point he was talking, when he was talking, he had gotten to the point where essentially, short of him, banging an iguana on his desk, he probably couldn't get fired. Yes, that would probably make the Daily Mail, Man caught having sex with an iguana on his desk in government office. Well, we're still waiting on some action here, but I'll keep you updated. Here's a computer transfer haiku. Blue bar moves slowly, making new machine happy. Now repair old one. I wonder what they're going to nail me for that, guys. Now they say they're transferring my applications folder, and then now it's transferring files to support applications. Before that it said, documents and data. So, and now with only 2 minutes left in theory. Interesting. And now they're transferring my system settings. And it says your migrated data is ready to use following the restart. Your computer will restart automatically in 19 seconds. And now they're counting down. Yay! Here's the screen from the old Mac. Migration complete. Oh, man. And now in the new Mac, migration complete. We're done, guys. Here's the old one. And here's the new one. And everything is set up on the new one, just like the old one. As near as I can tell, all my files are, you know, there too. Here, I can, you know, the whole shooting match. The whole shooting match. Yep, looking good, Kings Island on that. All the movies. So, good show. Well, it's about 13:41 in the afternoon Eastern Time now. Don't do that. So we are ready to roll here now. The next job's going to be to erase this one.